my wife and I, within 2 years of losing our own ability to pay for our own property, we were able to create notes. We knew exactly how to create notes on properties that were being leased by us. So effectively, we were the bank. And all of that happened simply because of the education, application of the education, and then the support systems of this team that's growing around the country. You keep seeing those pictures. So they wrapped their arms around us. Our professionals came from the group. The resources, even the financial resources came from the group. If I ever needed a mentor, they were only a text away. So it was a fantastic experience for us, and there's no doubt why these guys were rated A plus with the BBB. So the other component here that we're here to talk about is the expansion component. If you are here on the line today looking for some type of work or opportunity to make money working from home, we do have a licensing agreement with that education company. They pay us 50% of gross tuitions with an additional 15% in overrides for expanding around the country. Now, you saw Michael and John's money. It's pretty significant. You saw Michael making over $40,000 in the last month. That was on this. Okay, so all three of us, we're smart enough to say, okay, you know what? If it's available, let's take advantage of it. So we are looking for more team to add to that. So the real question here is, there's two components. Which one would you like to take advantage of? The first component is we do get paid to create students, and we get paid tremendously well. You've already seen the money that you can make doing that. Once we create the student, we move the student through the systems, the educational systems and support systems, to the point where they're actually ready to do real estate, and then we make even more money doing real estate. So the national group that is hosting this webinar right now is expanding around the country. You're experiencing that expansion by joining us here on this webinar. So congratulations for that. Let's talk about the expansion for a second. We are constantly recruiting more teammates to grow. The teammates that we have literally are the support systems to the recruiting and the students. So as we take on more students for real estate investing, we need more team members who are handling the infrastructure. Okay, so those team members act as a recruiting workforce, helping us enroll freshman level folks. Those freshman level folks, within 3 to 6 months of actual class time, should be controlling real estate. In my case, it was 3 months. I was using my sweat equity because I had no money. I was moving those deals to senior level investors that I was partnered up with here in this group. I was actually making money because they were ready to do the deals that I was finding and putting under contract. Eventually, I became well-rounded. I did my first flip, created my first rental, took care of my first note, established that. And it's the same process. So all we're doing is duplicating the same process that myself and Michael and John have already gone down to help anybody else that's on this webinar. So what it really comes down to is capital. Most of us think that we need a job to derive capital, and then we take whatever's left over, we hand it to a financial planner to get us a 3% volatile return. This is atrocious. A lot of the folks that work with us, and you saw the numbers from the two young men here on the line today, a lot of the folks that start with us are capable of making 6 figures their first year. They start paying 2/3 less taxes than they're used to paying, and they start getting double-digit returns on their retirement plans. And this is not something that we're speculating. It's not something that we're planning on doing. It's already being executed around the country. The question is, does this sound good enough for you to get into that next step to get to one of our national intro meetings? Okay. All right. Last slide. So why are you here today? Are you here because you're looking for work, or are you here because you're looking to get into real estate investing? Now, I wanted to get into real estate investing, but the truth of the matter was I had no income coming in. So thank God these guys had some work available for me to do. I have a tremendous sales background. I was designing marketing campaigns from my home office. I got paid $159,000 my first year for doing that, which literally saved my family's life. After somebody was answering those ads, we do have appointment setters who are merely contacting folks and putting people in front of public speakers. Some of those appointment setters are making $50,000. Some of them make $100,000. We do want to pause here for a second. If you are not able to work from home, if you're not motivated enough to do that or can't handle that, let me give you an example. If you think that you need a boss looking over your shoulder, or you need somebody cracking whip over your head, this is not going to be for you. We're going to put a lot of time, effort, and financial resources into training you up. And if you knew that you couldn't handle it, you're just wasting everybody's time. So we'd appreciate it if you bow out of the systems right now before you move forward. But those of you that like the idea of not having to fight traffic and can handle independent work, then keep moving forward. Once an appointment setter is done appointment setting, they put them in front of public speakers. That's what myself and John or Mike are doing today. Some of us are making $250,000 a year. I'll show you my numbers in just a second to back that up. Once the public speaker is done, then the customer service kicks in to answer questions. We have managers managing teams and buildings around the country. But this workforce has one job and one job only, including us three that are on the line today. This is our job today. Get us more students, period. The more freshman level folks that we have who are testing out of wholesaling, testing out of fix and flip, testing out of buy and hold, actually become assets to the group. Those assets make very viable rookies to assist the senior level investors in doing what they're doing. So in my case, I was putting properties under contract and moving to the senior level investors. Those senior level investors were actually doing the deals, but everybody made money in the process. That is expanding around the country right now. It's why you're on this webinar with us. And let me just end this thing with a couple of the results that happened because of it. Hang on a second. Let me just delete this. Always leave the room the way you found it, right? Mom always taught me that. Okay, let me give you some examples why this works and how it's worked so well. Scotty Himinski, when he came to us, was a union carpenter out of work. He was not making any money, struggling over that. He knew he could do the work, except the union didn't have any jobs for him. So literally came down to our office, said, I can put the tool belt on, and we showed him how to pay himself working on his own project. So in the 4 months he worked on this project, he paid himself $22,000 in the 4 months for work. Then at closing, got an extra $133,000 in profit on that deal. The deal was good enough that he presented it in the executive summary to people in our group. They helped him fund it, and he got the deal done. Since then, about 4.5 years ago, they've now got 41 rental properties. 32 of those rental properties are dedicated to homeless veterans, so doing some really, really great work and benefiting everybody. Okay, second example on here is actually somebody that wasn't looking for real estate investing, just looking for extra money for work. This is Justin Kane. When I met Justin, he was a 24-year-old band teacher. He was only making $34,000 a year as a band teacher, struggling on that because his wife was an out-of-work English teacher. So they came down for summer work and continued to work with us part-time through the school year. Ended up making $122,000 that first year working with us, which allowed him to quit teaching band and start working on his real estate. Today, these guys have 116 properties that pay them rent. He is just over 30 years old and one of my top senior level investors in the Chicagoland area. So doing some great, great work. Now, if you are on the line today looking for work, we are looking for individuals who can design and maintain ad campaigns, handle communications, assist in live events, handle customer service. Public speaking is at a premium right now as we expand around the country. We do have full-time and part-time opportunities available. Why part-time? Well, when you're a band teacher and you start getting checks like this, you kind of wonder why you were teaching band. That allows you to actually work on fix and flips. And when fix and flips can get you 3 years worth of pay in one deal, you put band teaching in your rearview mirror. I'm going to show you my numbers. The last 5 years, this company's paid me over $1.5 million for doing what I'm doing on the line right now. So for some reason you have people skills, sales management, sales training, retail management, executive management, restaurant management. Those skills translate very well into what we're going to be doing together. So you definitely want to stick with this process to get those questions answered, to follow up to see if this is going to be working for you. Okay. Give you an example of what's really possible. This is actually a girl that we know very well. She's on the advisor board. Her name's Jean. About 5 months ago at our national conference, in front of about 1,000 people, her son at 12 years old got up and talked about his retirement plan, invested in that property right there. And one of the proudest moments that I saw in that national conference was the fact that we're actually helping kids have a better future, right? By doing what we're doing here today. My wife and I, we used to wake up and get in traffic every single day. Today, instead of making our bills, we help other people make lives. We are on the advisory board to the Real Estate Investing Education Company. You'll see John, he's back there. He's only 33 years old. And Michael actually joined that board about 5 months ago. He's only 27 years old. You saw the picture of him at 22. And we didn't know where he was going with that. But turned out to be one of our fastest growing real estate investors in the country. So hats off to a millennial that can turn it all around. Okay, the team that's putting on this webinar is the #1 team in the country, so congratulations for being here. It's kind of like joining the Yankees. We've opened up a lot of buildings since we started doing these webinars. Keep in mind that people from Arizona and Utah and New York and California, they don't come to interviews like we always do at traditional jobs. They simply watch the webinar. They made it to the national intro meeting, even if it's online or live. They got to a follow-up, got their questions answered, started working from home, usually for 6 figures. Pretty soon we have enough going on in that area that we can wrap a building around it. And that is really the goal with the folks that are doing this webinar right now for you. Okay, folks, that's it. That's the 15-minute briefing. The next step is the national intro meeting, followed by the Q&A. I'm going to turn it back over to Michael, and he's going to give you the go-forward strategy to make sure that you guys can get to that next step. So, Michael, why don't you help them out?
Awesome. Thank you very much, Scott. Okay, your next step, ladies and gentlemen, is you are going to go to followupwebinar.com, and you're going to let us know what you're interested in and what direction you want to go moving forward. That's followupwebinar.com, and just get back with whoever invited you, shared this link with you, and we will take the next step. Thanks for being here, guys.